What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today it's kind of cold out. At least it's not snowing, but it's cold enough where you want your paws to be nice and warm. Come with me. Fresh off the press from New Jersey, we are finally installing a heated steering wheel onto a 2022 Ford Super Duty. Check it out. There's what your truck does not have. If you want to find out how to add all this stuff on, make sure to check this video out. All right, guys, let's go. Alright guys, thanks so much for coming back and checking us out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe and follow along if you are wanting to put that heated steering wheel on to your truck that was failed to be built with such. I've had a lot of guys reach out and say, you know, hey, what can we do to put this steering wheel on? What needs to happen? Well, first off, I will tell you that if the dealer is telling you that all they have to do is put a steering wheel on, that's not true. That is what happened to this gentleman. He bought the truck from his selling dealer and was told that it did not have the heated steering wheel, and they thus proceeded to tell him that, hey, all we got to do is put a heated steering wheel on and it'll work. Well, that's obviously not the case because there's nothing in that steering wheel that has this. This is the wheel that has the heated element in, but this is what plugs into the clock spring. The clock spring is behind the steering wheel. That's why this is so important. That's why this is so important to make sure we change all the parts, because the clock spring in that truck does not have that connector. That is where this plugs in, because the clock spring sits behind the steering wheel. Those two yellow nubs here by my thumb come through those holes. That connector is that connector, and this tiny one is that one. So there's a lot more going on to it than meets the eye. On top of that, the truck doesn't have any wiring. We're gonna add that in, even down to the pins. You guys have seen me replace and remove pins from connectors before. This is a big deal. How is everything gonna work if it's not being told what to do? This is the heated steering wheel module right here. Pre-programmed, don't have to program that. And it wasn't that expensive. I think this is like only 27 bucks or something. When I did my 20, it wasn't expensive at all. You have a couple of push pins, a few push pins rather, to mount the heated module to the metal frame right underneath here. You can see there is the mirror spot module right here. So the heated steering wheel control module is going to go right here. I'm going to show you that obviously, but the wiring comes with some pretty sweet instructions. I guess the first thing we're going to do is remove the steering wheel, and that is going to come off via these two holes. There's one here and one on the other side. There's a clip. I'm trying to visualize. There's a clip that looks like this, and when you squeeze the clip, it depresses this ring, and these two fingers here, there's two fingers here and one here, and it kind of accordions in, and then you're able to move the horn and the airbag as an assembly. So it's going to be beeping the horn, going to be kind of a pain in the butt. You could go ahead and disconnect the batteries, or we could just disconnect the horn, which is right down in here, if you want to reach down in there. But let's get this steering wheel off. We're going to be using not a small screwdriver. That's not going to work. We need to get an Allen that is going to be long enough to go all the way through. I think an 8-inch size Allen. I got to go on a search and rescue. What I wound up using was a long, are we going to focus today? A long, no focus? Long T15. That went right in the hole on both sides of the steering wheel. And, you know, let me show you exactly where you have to go so you guys understand. Here's the old wheel, or here's the new wheel. I'm gonna go through the hole here. See where this is going? There's a clip that goes right here that we're trying to depress through the steering wheel. You pop one side and then you come back over to the other side and do the same thing and pop the steering wheel out, and that will allow you to do something. That will allow you to do something like this. That's where you are once you get that removed. There is an airbag connector right there. We have to pop out that orange tab, and let's see if we can do that. Pop out this orange tab right here, and then we're gonna squeeze the airbag connector like that, and then this pink one right here, pink and red or whatever you want to call it, right there, that is the actual horn connector. So if you don't connect that, your horn is not gonna work. And that one, we're just gonna use our pocket screwdriver and do something like this and pull it right out. Just like that with the connector, and then you're gonna pull it out, and don't put this anywhere that's gonna get damaged. We'll just kind of leave it right here to be safe. Okay, special size. We have 15/16. Oh, well, thank you, my dear. All right, steering wheel. You're coming off right now. We're off. There's the bolty. There's the bolty. I'm gonna put a little Loctite on that when we're done. All right, we have one connector right here. Right, let me get my finger on it. Good Lord. Goodness, can't even get my finger above. There we go. All right, that connector is off. This is attached to the clock spring. So when you're done, I'm hitting the road, here we go, and the steering wheel comes. Ah! Hey, look, I just got the.
What up, guys? I just got that new JDM Super Duty. Yeah, I take my wheel off when I go into the market.
Just kidding, just kidding. Okay, we're not using that no more. Here is the clock spring. This is what allows everything behind the steering wheel to communicate with everything on that side of the steering wheel. Notice how it does not have a connector for a heated element, because that does not have one. Now, we need to change the clock spring. I'm going to take this plastic trim off. We have 3 5/5s in these 3 holes right here, and that is going to allow us to separate this clamshell. All right, 5/5s. I'm getting heckled here in the background. Oh, these guys are killing me. We're gonna do 5/5 these boys right out. Oh, this one's stuck in here a little bit. Get this one out. All right, there we go. We're gonna be reusing these, so don't freaking lose them. But we're gonna get the pocket screwdriver and depress that little tab. Get sorta, no, there we go. Get this one, sorta. There we go. Ah, it ain't my screwdriver, give it back. All right, so in the back of right here, I'll try to show you guys, there is a peg around, see if you can see it. Okay, there you go. See how the bottom has to hook around that top one? I'm trying to illustrate to you that, guys, so you guys aren't just pulling this apart and freaking breaking it. But yeah, that's how that's gonna come off. We're gonna fully remove the lower. The top is gonna stay, but we'll pull this all the way out. Try to get into a habit of not losing stuff, so since we took this bottom piece off, I'm gonna put those little screws in here and take this out of the truck. I'm gonna jump up in here, see if I can get this a little aligned better. We have a T10 that is holding the clock spring to the steering column control module. We have one right here. We have one right here. These are super tiny. Super tiny. Magnet. And then we have two right here under this flap. Zip this out. And then, ooh, this gun smells like diesel furl. Two. Total of four. And then we are just going to pull the clock spring off. And it's got one connector right here. Use my finger here to push this tab and pull it out. Now, these are the pins that went into the steering column control module. You gotta be real careful when you're pushing the new one in. You want it to go, let's see, you want it to go in like this. You don't want to be going like this or like this. Try to get it as flush as possible when you're putting it into the steering column control module. But that's the old clock spring. All right, the new clock spring for a heated steering wheel is that right there. Hope I showed you guys that long enough. Some people were complaining that you didn't show the part numbers. I show you the part numbers to everything. You guys just don't look hard enough. Okay, putting the new clock spring on, just like this. Move that connector out. Let's go into the airbag. This is gonna go, if you guys check this out. This is your turn signal. This is what engages the clock spring so that it cancels your turn signal. In case you guys didn't know, that's the mechanical mechanism that deactivates your turn signal. Okay, we're going on as straight as possible. We're going in. Let's put the bottom in. Let's put the bottom in all the way. This is going to push in. There's not going to be like a click or anything. There we go. The steering column control module has some little posts over here that one of them goes around, and it's just going to sit here like this. I'm going to put this back on. These are not lug nuts. We're just going to be gingerly putting these in. That's it. I need to get a new clip on the end of my quarter drive gun. We'll go ahead and just put all these in. Okay, clock spring is in. Now, we're gonna leave all this like this. I'm gonna clip this guy in. You guys are wondering what I'm talking about. This little plastic piece is supposed to clip in to the top of the column shroud. Go ahead and get that positioned now, so I'm not fighting it. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to be sitting. The next part is this connector is supposed to be going into the bottom of the clock spring just like that. But the problem that we're gonna have is this harness does not house the circuits that we need to operate the heated steering wheel. So now we're gonna be adding 2 wires to this connector. You guys remember how to take this off. I show you guys all the time. We're gonna pop this off. Pop it out of the connector. Maybe get you a pick, or if you're not going on the website for the merch, information is in the description. Well, that wasn't supposed to hit the floor. But you can find yourself one of these sweet little screwdrivers to help you do some of the things that we're doing today. And it has my ugly mug on it right there. Isn't that just pretty as it blurs in? Okay. Let me get the harness that we have. So I have the harness. This may look a little confusing to some, but it's really not that big of a deal. We are going to be inserting red and yellow wires. We have two legs coming off of the main heated control module connector, but that's going to be going under the dash. And we need to take these two wires and we have to put them in this gray connector, but they're not going to go in just any hole. So when you pop this out, this is only going to go in one way. We can't take this and go back around. It can only go in one way. That is going to allow us to orient this in a fashion that's going to allow us to read the numbers right on here. We have 1 here and 6 here. We have 7 here and 12 here. We need to insert the red wire in pin 3. So if this is 1 right here, 1, 2, 3. If this is sitting in here like this, that means 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take this red, and this will only go in one way. If you notice, the top of this pin has like a little shark fin. That shark fin is going to go in the top of this connector. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Put that in. Shark fin not supposed to be on top. Shark fin supposed to be on the bottom. You won't know until you get it in there. Nope. And you're just going to push it all the way in until you hear this. Listen to this click. Come closer. Listen. Did you hear it click? Now it won't pull out. Now we have a pin that never existed in pin 3. Now the yellow wire is going to go directly next to it in pin 2. Shark fin on the top. Shark fin on the top. My name is on the top. And we're going to put that, hear that click? Look at that. Pin 2, pin 3. We're going to reinstall this red connector shell locating tab. Boom, check that out. Now we are that much closer to having this heated steering wheel installed, and I want this harness to go over like this. So I want it to come straight out. See how that looks? Now we technically could put the steering wheel back on, but I want to put the column shroud back on. But before I do that, I want to run this wiring down here. So let me get this suited up and booted up, and we're going to get to the next scene. I really like how this came out. I have it wrapped with interior harness tape right here and have it ran down this little channel. I cut the 2 zip ties that fastened the stock harness to this trough, and I ran the heated wiring down through here. I guess I should back up and say I did take this off. That just peels right off. And then I took the knee bolster off. I had a bunch of 10 millis and that came off, and that was able to give me a little bit more room. But check out, this is our mirror spot module. Here is our heated control. Here is our heated steering wheel module. And here are the clips that are going to go into the bottom of the heated module, just like this. And here are the clips that we just pushed in. And the heated steering wheel module is going to go right in that position right here. That's why that space was open, because it didn't have any heated steering wheel module. So that is the most factory's install right there. That big connector that you see right here is what is going to plug in right here. Listen for the click. Clicked. Oh, came out a little bad. Okay, clipped in, and now there is a ground wire eyelet that came off immediately off this connector. Where's the end of it? It's gonna go right there. we're gonna fasten this 8 milli right to that ground strap. Folks, it's not a lug nut. You don't need to be stripping or busting that out. But once it's done, check it out, dude. That's factory as you know what. Okay, next step. All right, and one of the last things you're gonna do with the wiring is that gray connector that was coming off the heated steering wheel module. You're going to plug in right there. That is the last clock spring connector. And now I'm gonna throw all this bottom stuff on and get to the wiring down here. All right, I didn't know if you guys thought this was kind of cool. This is how the mechanism works for your adjusted steering wheel. Check it out. That's all the way down. See the little motor? That is what pulls your steering wheel in and out, in case you guys didn't know. This is it. The 3600 part numbered steering wheel for his trim. This is the final piece. We're gonna be putting the airbag connector through the very top. That white clip is gonna be pulling through with the wire. And then see these fingers right here? That was on the old clock spring. That's gotta go through the back side of the steering wheel right here. So you can see them coming through successfully. Right there. Push it on. It's bottomed out. And we put some Loctite on the steering wheel and bolt. We're going to put that back in. All right, we're going to tighten this down. All right, now the steering wheel is nice and tight on here. We're going to pull the grenade pin. Pulling grenade pin. Frag out! And we're gonna connect the new steering wheel to the new clock spring. Here's the part that we did not disconnect from the old steering wheel. Look at that. This is the heated steering wheel connector to clock spring now, right there. Click. This was not on the old wheel. Now the last thing we're gonna do is put the airbag and horn back in. Remember we had that one pink connector. It's the exact same right here in the exact same spot. See it kind of hiding around right there. We're gonna plug that in, same way, same direction. Clipped in. Can't forget the airbag. That's gonna pop in right there, and then the orange clip all the way. See how it just stopped and then it finally depressed? And the last thing we're gonna do is center that puppy up. First off, let me show you that clip. The clip is in this airbag right here, and we have to go through, that tool had to go through that hole and through this hole to depress that spring right there. I forgot to show you guys that, but that's what we were trying to do. Okay, horn going back on. Check it out. Heated steering wheel is on. Follow me through the next series of steps because now we have to wire it in. Welcome to the vicinity underneath the driver's side of the dash. This has got to come off, and this platinum sill plate that I'm sure you guys all know how to take off. Just pull it off and then be careful because the underside of them, of the platties, have an electrical connector. So once that's off, take this off, get this out the way, get this plastic piece out of the trough. Now I want you to be careful when you dislodge it from right here. There is a little trim piece. Well, this one didn't have it. Maybe it's just the passenger side, but sometimes it likes to bust off right here. Just want you guys to be careful. in the instructions, I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you? Yeah, you can see it. Let me move the light over here. Ah, there we go. We need this connector right here. We're gonna take your finger and pull that out just like that. Now, see how it's got that white tab on that? That is what we're gonna be taking off. We're gonna depin this. Let's get the light over here. More light is better. There we go. All right, we're gonna take this white tab. We're gonna work it up. We're gonna work it out of the connector, just like that. See how it popped up? I'm gonna fully remove it from the connector shell. You could get a pick, or you could get our lovely screwdrivers. Now, when you're looking at the rounded top side of the connector, I want you guys to pay attention. Pins 14 and 15, these two right here, we are to remove from this connector. Now I have my pin removal tool. I'll try to find a link so I can put that in the description. But we're gonna try to depress. I have this orange and violet wire that I'm gonna need to remove. This is kind of tight. Bear with me. Very small wires. These two wires right here, those are the two that we're removing. So we're gonna try to be very gentle. All right, we're gonna try to pull out 15 and 16. This is gonna be a toughie. Let's see if we can get it. Let's go for the purple and the orange first. This thing is being very elusive. Whew, man, what a buzzard, but I got it. These are no joke. Talk about tiny. All right, let's get this gray one out of here. Where's the wire? Right there. You need like the right amount of lumens in the correct location at the correct time. Come on, Nelly. Whew, man. Finally, Jiminy Cricks, you guys. That was definitely no joke. I want you guys to be real careful when you're doing this so you don't mess up the retaining tabs when you're taking them out. But once you get that out and just endured what I just endured for the last 7 minutes, yeah, now we have to put those inside there. All right, back at the connector. Now, making sure when you're looking at this, remember what I was telling you, 14's on the left side, 15 is on the right side. We are going to be putting we're going to be putting this red pin into pin 14. Okay, pin 14, the left side is going to be the red. Let's go ahead and situate that in here if we can. These are small terminals. Come on, Manelli. Ooh, is the shark fin got to go to the right? Yeah. No? There we go. Okay, that was a click, a certified click. Now for pin 15, I see it. That's definitely gonna be a toughie. All right, let's see if I can finagle this in. I hope you guys can see this. There we go, clipped in. Give me this white retaining tab right now. And I'm putting that boy back on. Whew, talk about a pain in the pita. That's what it's gonna look like. That's what it's gonna look like when we finally get that done. But the next step, and we have a little 2-pin, we have a little 2-pin connector right here. We're gonna untwist that. Look very hard because on the side of this black connector is the embossing of what number pin you're going to put this in. Now they want us to take the gray with the orange. Obviously, if you guys hopefully aren't colorblind, you can tell which two those are. Gray with the orange, we're gonna put in pin 1. And if you look, if you guys can't see the number because it's super small, there is like a clock dial on it for when it was built, manufactured. That is the side for pin 1. Pin 1, it says right there. Pin 1, gray with orange. And you're gonna put the violet in pin 2, and it's gonna look something like that. The last step that you guys are gonna have to do, see this little thing right here, this little black thing? We have to push that in, and that is gonna lock those circuits into that connector. Now you might be wondering where that connector goes. Right on the other end of the harness that we just installed into C263. This is now gonna factory connect. Just like that, we're going to factory connect that black C263 into the factory harness. The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to route this in an OE fashion, and then we're gonna install all that trim, and I'm gonna show you how to get this Lone Ranger over to the body control module. All right, under the dash, one more time. Here is the little gripper fingers. I have an assistant on the other side that's gonna squeeze that so the claw comes out, like claw squeezing. Can you squeeze that claw for me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And claw squeezing. I am the claw. And we'll need to, okay, let go. Keep going. Gonna try to keep it like that. All right, pull it through. Ah, you dirty little chicken. All right, we're gonna do this again and get to the other side. Oh, I forgot my light. My lumens is on the other side. Man, I tell you what, this heated steering wheel's got me heated. It's starting to perspire. Where is it? Yeah, that wire kicked my butt. I was sitting there I was starting to tremble. I want you to paint me a picture wearing this and only this. Not today. Look at it come through the dash though. Come through the back side of the dash. Luckily we had the grippers. She was a gripper. And now we have this harness that we're gonna go underneath the carpet and to the body control module, which is right there. Last step, the lone wire that we just ran from the driver's side, we're going to connector 22880A. That is this guy right here. I just depressed that button with my thumb over here, and we're gonna wiggle this connector out once that white tab slides all the way, and we're gonna go ahead and cut this zip tie right here, and we need that off because we need to put a wire in here, and I'm having a hard time doing this with one hand. Give me that wire. Give me that wire. All right, so now that that is off, I need to get this black shell off. I'm gonna swing that down, this little connector right here, pop that shell off. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We gotta pop this red tab off just a little bit because we have to get the locking tab up so that this will slide in. So now that that red is popped up, we'll put our wire in. You saw it come right up there, just clicked into place. We're gonna go ahead and put the black cover on. Got to put the back in first because it's got little feet that sit here. Get the harness ran through there so we don't pinch it. And then that clips on. Now I want to keep it congruent and put a zip tie back on because that's how it came in. So grab yourself a zippy and secure that harness to the shell. And put this on, zip tie it down so it looks something like that. And then we're gonna connect the BCM, connect this connector back to the BCM, and go ahead and push it into place so it looks like that. Like nothing was ever done. That's factory ASF, boys. All right, the last part we're gonna have to do is program the truck with FORScan. We got a bunch of codes to go off of on our sheet to activate the APIM, to activate the instrument cluster and the heated steering control module, which we won't have to program or upload any data to. So here we go. FORScan is hooked to the truck. The instructions say to hit no. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to come over here to the computer chip, and we're going to look for the heated steering wheel control module. We're going to go through all these. Here's the heated steering wheel module found. So I'm going to go to the computer chip. Let's see if we have the module. Boom, there it is. Heated steering wheel module. We got it. So now we're going to go through the instructions. Where is our as-built? Right here. The first one we're going to go into is the APIM. We're going to go to APIM as-built. We're going to go down and hit play. And we're going to hit OK. We're going to go to address 7D021. 7D021. Okay, we're right here. All right, we need to take this 4 and we need to make it a 5. We need to go down to the address right below it, and we need to make this 0 now a 4. Let's confirm that. We got a 5 in the front and we have a 4 here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to write these columns. This is the APIM. This is the radio interface key cycle. All right, the next one we're going to do is we're going to go down to IPC. So we're going to hit the stop button. We're going to go back up to configuration and programming. Where is IPC? Right here, as built. We're going to hit the play. We're going to go to address 720.0202. We're right here, this address right here. We're going to take this 9 and we're going to make this 9 a D as in Delta. And then we're going to hit right. Hit yes. Now that's going to turn the climate controlled function for the heated wheel on in the instrument cluster. We're going to hit the stop button again. We're going to go to the next module down, the HVAC module. Now that also has to control the heated wheel when we turn on our remote start. It's going to turn all that on, communicate with the heated wheel module. 7330102, we have this address right here. We need to do the last character. We're going to take that 1 and make it a 9, and then we're going to go all the way down here and hit right. So now the HVAC module is now alerted that we have a heated steering wheel module in this truck. We're going to hit stop. The last module, we're going to go down to the heated steering wheel module, and we need to go to 714.0101, and we need to make this first numeral a 1, and we need to make this 1 a 2, and we're going to write that. Cycle the key. And then the next address down, we're going to do 714.0201. We need to make this 4 a 50. And we're going to make this quadruple 4 50 50. And the last character is no longer going to be a Eddie Charlie. It's going to be a 10. And we're going to go ahead and write that. Okay, key off, key back on. Okay, the only way this is going to work is if the truck is running. I have some codes in here. Oh, let me go back to the module. I hit stop, go back to programming, DTCs. Let's go ahead and clear all these DTCs so that we have nothing in any modules. Gonna have to do a key cycle. Okay, all of our modules coming back totally clear. Now, what is the first step in verifying the customer's concern or verifying the repair? You have to frickin' use it. So the only way for that to work is if the truck is running. We do have the hood open. We're gonna put the heated seats on so I can feel the heat. I want you guys to now come over here. We had to reset the APIM using ForeScan. We went into the button above the computer chip, the wrench, and just had to reboot the APIM. But as soon as we did that, you can see now the heated steering wheel button is finally on, illuminates. And to verify, we also want to go through the instrument cluster while I'm touching the steering wheel here and go into advanced settings. You're going to go to vehicle, remote start, and you want to make sure your seats and your wheel are now showing in the cluster. Then you are ready to go. And right now I am just preemptively waiting as this is warming up. I feel it warmed up. I want to have the customer take this off. So why doesn't he come over here on the driver's side? This is the best part of the whole repair, is allowing the customer to come enjoy the last step. Usually when I do the DCR pumps, I let the customer install the last line onto the pump, let them be part of the repair, and yeah, here we go. Ordered the truck with no wheel, and now we have a wheel that is now going to be nice and warm. Freaking A. What do you think about this leather? This is definitely different than what we had stock. It is definitely. Isn't it?
It's softer and more comfortable.
I wish I could show you guys how it's warming up, but it's definitely a different quality leather than what was on here from stock. If you guys want a heated steering wheel on your Ford Super Duty, but they told you at the factory you couldn't, well, the dealer's lying to you. You can. Come and see me. I'll get the parts ordered up for you or help you look them up and make the trip out to Detroit. Or I tell you Florida, but who's using a heated steering wheel in Florida? I mean, you could. I appreciate you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, sub, share, and I'll catch you guys all next time. See ya!